These are my top 5 mid-range phones. Welcome to Budget Baron, and today I'm gonna talk about my top 5 mid-range phones. My number 5 is the Xiaomi Mi 4i. It is between 230 and 250 euros, and it has a 5-inch screen that is 1080 by 1920. It has a Snapdragon 615 that is a quad-core 1.7 GHz. It has 2 GB of RAM and 16 GB of storage. And it has a 13 megapixel back camera and a 5 megapixel front camera. The 3120 mAh battery, so it will probably last you quite a long time. The number 4 is the Motorola Moto G 2015. It has a price of 180 euros and has a 5-inch screen that's 720 by 1280. It has a 1.4 GHz quad-core Snapdragon 410 and has 1 GB of RAM and an expandable 8 GB of storage. It also has a 13 megapixel back and a 5 megapixel front. It has a 2470 mAh battery. It is also the cheapest on my list. My number 3 is the Alcatel Idol 3. It costs 230 euros and it has a 4.7 inch screen that's 720 by 1280. It has a Snapdragon 410 that's a quad core that runs on 1.2 GHz. It has 1.5 GB of RAM and 8 GB of storage. Next to it, it has 13 megapixel back camera and a 5 megapixel front camera. It has the smallest battery of all. It's a 2000 mAh battery. My second choice is the Asus Zenfone 2. It has a price around 250 euros and it has a 5.5 inch screen at 720 by 1280. It rocks a 1.8 GHz quad-core Intel Atom Z3560 and has 2 GB of RAM and 16 GB of storage that is also expandable. There's 13 megapixel back camera and a 5 megapixel front camera. It also has a 3000 mAh battery. So for number 1 we have the OnePlus One. The price dropped recently because the OnePlus 2, so the 16 GB is now 250 euros. So it will be a really good mid-range flagship. So let's have a look at the specs. So the OnePlus One, what does it have to offer? It costs right now around 250 euros. It has a 1080 by 1980 5.5 inch screen. It has a Snapdragon 801 with a good 2.5 GHz. It has 3 GB of RAM and 16 GB of storage. There's a 13 megapixel back camera and a 5 megapixel front camera. And it has a 3100 mAh battery. So this was my top 5 mid-range phones. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. If you really liked it, you can always subscribe. Be sure to watch my other videos. And if you want to say something, you can leave a comment below. And see you next time on Budget Baron.